Okay, well, I did 3 interviews this week, and they really went very, very well, and were featured in this magazine too. Even our Purple Grove, you know, the whole plantation is featured. So it's done a lot for both our institute and for Parkinson House and Purple Grove. So we can look at the figures and see where that's going.
Okay.
And what have you got to add to that? Are you happy with what's happening?
Oh yeah, we're getting so many sales going now. And everyone's working really hard to getting that soap manufactured. And as I've said before to others, that China is picking up a lot of imports from us.
So you're handling the exports there?
Yeah, I am.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Nina, look Nina, I know you did your very best. I know, and you did well. Yeah.
With Parkinson, yes, I did.
Yes, and I don't ever want you to feel that you didn't do a really nice job there. For the future, we do need somebody who's going to be there long term. And I do realize that your commitment was a shorter term. I know you put a lot into it, yes.
Yeah, you tried really hard.
You did try.
Very hard. I'm
and
proud
I
of
don't
you.
feel bad about anything.
Look, I'm glad now that you're not acting selfishly and that we're all together as one family, as we should be.
Yeah, it's good now. We're all going to be one family, heading in the same direction for a change.
I plan to go to Vietnam and stay with my dad. I think there are plenty of opportunity there, and my dad is really successful in building project that he been doing. And I will take Sonia with me. What do you think?
Oh, are you sure? Why have you suddenly decided on this?
You see that I'm moving with you from Perth to Sydney. I got a job as a lawyer, lucky, but so far I only have 2 cases. One is win for Sonia, and with Jeff I failed. And ever since I didn't get any more new cases, and I quite bored. I mean, I feel like nothing to do here, nothing here for me. So. And I'm still young. I want to explore other opportunities and see where I'm gonna fit in.
Oh dear, my son, I shall miss you so much.
I'm gonna miss you too.
I mean, you used to like it in Australia so much. I remember when you were little with your surfboards and the beach, you loved it here. Why do you want to be with your dad?
Yeah, that's where I was when I was young. I was little. Now I'm growing up, so I need to do something about my future.
Have you contacted your dad?
No, actually he called me the other day, and yeah, he just proposed the idea, and I have to think about it. And yeah, here I am, just want to discuss with you. But I think there will be a lot of good opportunity if I come over there. And I will get a job straight away. Plus, Sonia, my girlfriend, she will get a job. She will be she will have all this work, her work, gonna be in a gallery. And yeah, so we will be better off over there than here.
But how long will you be there, do you think?
At the moment, I'm not sure yet. Maybe 1 or 2 years. Let's,
1 or 2 years. Oh, that's too long.
but I will come back.
Does that remind you of anything? When we were between the sheets, crawling under the sheets?
Really?
Why, Deb, what a ferret of all things.
Well, Deb loves
not a
it.
cat.
Well, she loves it. I wonder where she got that from. But,
Well, I think
look.
it might be from Auntie Claire.
Oh,
She loved ferrets. And I remember we were catching the flight back and she wanted to bring a ferret back on board. Well, Claire wasn't allowed to bring it back. So we got on the plane and we got on like a house on fire. We talked and talked all night and had a few glasses of champagne. It was great.
see, there you go again. Talking about Claire.
I told you, look, don't worry about Claire. It's only a business association, but I found out that she was actually pregnant.
Really?
And yeah, so that's how I became an adopted father.
Yes, I remember. She was a single mother and always was single.
Yeah, well, Lawrence needed a father, so I adopted him. And it was for the good of Purple Grove anyway. And yeah, that's how it worked out. So that's how Lawrence became my adopted son.
You're heading off, are you?
Yes, I'm going back to Vietnam to see my dad.
Oh, goodness. Well, I'm glad I saw you before you left. I would really like you to encourage your dad to come home. I really want him to come home. I miss him terribly.
He seemed very busy and very exciting with the project to build a new hotel in Hanoi. I'm not sure, but I want him to be back too because I want to introduce my new girlfriend, which is Sonia, to him, and we start dating now.
Oh, is she going with you?
I'm going to see my dad. We're both going to see my dad in Hanoi.
Well, that's nice. She's a nice girl.
Thank you.
Now, I want you to give him a message, please. I miss him terribly, and I want him to think about coming back to Australia.
Yes, I will. He is super busy at the moment, and he's extremely excited about the new project that he's doing, building a new hotel in Hanoi.
Well, you know, I'm not surprised he's happy building. He got that from me. I was doing it a lot earlier than he was. So you don't think he'll come back? Not in the near future.
Well, I doubt that until everything is finished and complete. He might pay a visit, but
Well, look,
not quite sure.
how about if I organise to go over and see him when it's convenient for him? Will you check out with him?
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Yeah. Okay, we can do that. Goodbye and have a lovely trip.
Thank you, Grandma. You take care.
I will.
Well, it's coming soon. It's going to be released.
Yeah, look, I'm in two minds about it, Seb. I really am. I'm just so torn with loyalties. And I just feel like I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place. My loyalties are just so torn. And I want to be supportive, but, you know, he's done some pretty bad things.
Bad damage.
Yeah. And I don't know what to think when he comes out. I'm just stuck between a rock and a hard place.
Don't worry. We just need to be prepared for his release and what we're going to do.
Oh, so how was your trip?
Yeah. Try and reconnect with Roy.
Well, look, you've never said much about it, but it's obvious you still have feelings for him.
Yeah, I thought my 2 weddings would have, changed me. But it's getting worse with the recent loss of Sharon. I felt lost. I don't have Mum to talk about it.
Well, you've got me, I'm
Yeah,
Just
but you're
don't-
busy with Sean now.
Well, you don't say much about the Jeff?
But I haven't seen Roy for a while. What's happening between you two?
Oh, you know, he went on his tour in New Zealand, and I guess his ex Jonathan thought that was an opportunity to keep him there. But Roy is well defined, and he's in his mind. He knows that his bread and butter is here in Australia. So he's coming back for an Australian tour, and you'll be able to see his new show Cleopatra at the Lyric Theatre.
Oh, I look forward to that. That's wonderful.
Yeah, help him out to get on a tour. He's very successful, and I don't know, I was blown away by his talents, and I thought, you know, I had to find a distraction. And I mean, even when I was with Sharon the first time, you know, it didn't work out because of Roy. But now he's married with Jonathan, and Jonathan doesn't like me hovering around Roy. I keep dreaming about it. It's in my thoughts all the time, and that's why I had to go and see if there was hope for me to try something with Roy. But you know, I had to hide it all those years. Mum knew, you know, and when it came back to life, when I read a book, because she mentioned it, you know, and I said I'd like to try again, but it won't go any further now.
Lawrence is doing very well. He's sent me some pictures of a beautiful hotel, and I guess he's taking after me in property development. So, how do you feel about Joey going over?
I don't feel very good at all about it because, I mean, he said he's going for 2 years. That's a long time.
Maybe he's, you know, trying to explore his relationship with his dad, and, you know, you have to sort of let them go for them to come back.
Oh, it's going to be so difficult.
It is. It's very difficult.
I shall really miss him.
And the thing is that he'll be over there enjoying an exciting time. You're going to have to be positive for him, because he will be excited. He'll be in a new country, doing new things, and young people do that. They go. You know, one of my good friends, her daughter went away for 5 years, but came back.
Oh, well, maybe I'll be able to go and visit him.
Well, that's a positive thing to say.
Yes, I have to think positive. You're right. You're quite right.
Plan a holiday. How would you feel if you bumped into Lawrence? Would you be able to, you know, pass that off?
I wouldn't feel very comfortable, but you know, maybe we could just have a little holiday on our own, my son and I. I'm sure we can get around that.
Yes, you
I
probably
would
can.
plan something.
Uncle Jeff, I'm sorry to see you here. I know it might be painful for you to be restricted in this confined environment.
Of course.
How big is your cell?
Look at it. Look at it. 23 hours a day. Confined. I'm not happy. I'm not happy at all.
But there are heavy charges against you, Uncle Jeff.
Look, this was instigated by your father. Sebastian, it was instigated by your father. He lied, he distorted the truth.
But even if, I mean, it cannot be made responsible for what happened to you. There are heavy charges against you, Uncle Jeff. And I'm questioning your integrity. I always saw you like with a lot of ethical approach and behavior, and all this money laundering. I'm just wondering if it's true, Uncle Jeff, and it's true, as you've been condemned to spend some time in jail. I mean, I'm horrified to think that you would have used this humanitarian fund that was created by my mother just to build up Purple Groves.
Purple Grove was the priority. Very important. Our major project.
So don't blame my father to disclose a truth that should have been known.
Darling, is Deb around?
No, she's at the centre.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah. So we got the place to ourselves.
Ah, that's a treat, isn't it?
Now look, I've got to tell you something. I'm sick and tired of Claire going around, signing the book and you know, having all the attention.
Oh, look, don't worry about Claire. There's nothing going with her at all because she's only got 1/3 of a say in Purple Grove.
Yes,
We've
but
got
you've
to
been
go.
spending a lot of time with her.
Oh, only as a business association.
Wonder.
No, it's you I love.
Yes,
Look at
the
those
flowers
flowers.
are beautiful. Deb is happy for me to take the vase when I take the flowers.
I'm sure she'd be okay with that.
Yeah.
We are marking a special occasion, you know. It's been 1 year since we hopped between the sheets for a little bit of a slap and tickle.
Yes, I know.
We had a bit of fun, didn't we?
We certainly did.
Yeah, the washing
Yes.
machine got it working out the next day.
Well, I'm glad to hear it's working well with Sonia. I guess she needed a man in her life since she couldn't be with Sean, but sad to know that you consider leaving.
Yeah, Sonia is she's good, and so far we're really compatible. I really want to take to the next level.
I mean, your dad is working tremendously there. I mean, he sent me occasionally some photos on SMS, and this hotel looks brilliant. It's going very well. I'm looking forward to go and visiting him also. So you think your decision is firming up to go there? You pretty clear?
Yeah, so far all the conditions and things happening here, so I think it's the best that I will take Sonia go to Vietnam.
You think she's going to like it?
Who knows? But she obviously she likes you to be with me, so
Yeah. I mean, you're young, so you can try, give it a go, and you can always come back anyway. But Lawrence indicated me that he was quite pleased to hear that you were coming to visit. So I think that's probably good at this time in your life to do so.
yeah, I think at least we can try. If we fail, then we can, you know, at least that we know that we have tried.
Exactly.
Well, we're pretty anxious, wanting to know what happened with Mum, particularly the circumstances around her death.
I mean, to be honest, we've been anxious since we found out, Janet, that you were back in town. For us, it was like a blast from the past, and thinking that you were looking after Mem, you know, we appreciate that, no doubt about it. But you kind of have, you know, the truth is in your hand or in your head.
You were
And-
going to make some notes about what she said. Did you manage to do that?
Yeah, Deb is right. I mean, since you've been back, we've been very anxious, thinking, you know something. You haven't told us everything. Poor Alvira, before she passed away, she told me, she remembered you gave a note. You were given a note by Penelope to pass on to us, to the solicitor. And this is meant to be included in the book. Claire, you read the entire book.
I did. And what comes out first of all is that she loved her children very, very much. There's no doubt about that. So you have to take great comfort from that. Reading between the lines in the book, you will notice, when you eventually read it, that her life was threatened. All along the way she felt it.
I knew
She
about
was-
that.
She was under threat.
When she wrote the first book, she felt, you know, frightened.
Well, she was very agitated when she was out of the coma for that short time.
But you still don't recall anything she would have disclosed.
She didn't say.
No, she just wasn't well enough. She wasn't well enough.
So, have you decrypted those books?
Yes.
It might be difficult
And
to read.
I believe that she felt she was poisoned.
I mean, we suspected that.
And maybe through her puffer,
Yeah.
that probably was a likely, vehicle for transmitting the poison. Having been an asthmatic for so long.
Who would have done that? Does she say anything in the book?
The
Maybe
name-
that's the note
Maybe
you
that
got.
was what was in the note
So,
that she gave me.
have you tried
There is a mention of Dave in the book.
David
Yes.
Merkenhoff
Yes.
David Merkenhoff.
and Patricia Parkinson?
Yeah.
They were fighting for getting hold of a Parkinson
So-
house. Well, you should remember that because they stole it from you.
Well, when you add it all up. Oh, hello, Birdie.
When you add it all up,
When you add it all up, she came to that conclusion, and I have to say, I probably would too.
they're both dead now, so
I hope they're rotting in hell if they did do something to Mum.
well, we won't ever know, but I think you've got enough proof in the book, and at least we're closing a chapter.
I don't know if that puffer that she used was ever saved or just discarded. That would be...
Well, she obviously wanted the truth to come out by writing that if what we think is in the letter, the contents of that letter the solicitor has, if that's what it is, she wanted it to come out. And we have to honour that.
Yeah, so she's been, we at peace now, and she's at peace also.
And the book will vindicate, everything for her. And she's naming names.
I'm really sorry I can't be of any more help.
Well,
You
I'm
can only
glad-
say what you know. That's
And
it.
you did everything you could. We know that.
I'm glad, Auntie Claire, that you were able to decrypt that between the lines she wrote. Thank you very much. You've done a lot for our family.
You're very welcome. I wish I could have done more.
Nina, where are you?
I'm
Oh, here you are.
I'm here.
What are you doing here? Deb said you were at her place, but I've been looking for you all day today.
Look, you really annoyed me. I found last night when you were rumbling around in your bag, there's a yellow raincoat in there.
Oh, that I can explain that.
Well, what's that all about?
Well, I've got a bit of a fetish for yellow raincoats, you see, so I wasn't going to tell you that, but I used to wear it at night around the plantation.
Look, your problem before, and I think you need, how am I finding this out after 1 year we've been together, and you've got a yellow raincoat?
Yes, I'm the yellow coat killer from all those years ago. You're my next victim.
What do you think I thought of when I saw you half naked in a yellow raincoat?
Yeah, well, look, I do have a fetish, and I really need your help. Okay, yeah, I admit it. But even when the kids were only knee high, I was running around the house in the bloody yellow raincoat.
Well, this is no good for our relationship. I mean, you need to have sessions with me, and we've got to try and cure you from this, because, it's not good, not healthy at all. So the first thing we've got to do is burn it, okay?
Yes.
So where is it?
In the second bedroom, under my grandmother's bed. You want to go and get it with me?
Yes, I think that's what we should do. That's the first thing. My life with Jeff was hell, and I don't want the same with you. With this yellow raincoat running around half naked. I mean, I just, I don't want that. We need to cure you because otherwise there's no future. So we'll give it a go. Yeah, hopefully, because you need to get rid of it. You need to.
I know, and look, I'm in your hands.
Okay.
I really need your help, okay? I don't want anyone to know about this, please. It's really important that this stays between you and me. And when I first met you, it may seem selfish to you now, but I thought, wow, I think that Nina might be able to solve my problems with this matter. And, you know, to help me get over it, out of my head. And so I'm just opening up and being perfectly honest with you.
Well, I don't know how many sessions you're going to need. You might need thousands. Who knows?
Well, as long as they're with you, darling, I'm happy.
It's not good for our relationship, I can tell you.
This is it. Uncle Jeff is coming out of jail. None of us went to pick him up or went to meet and greet at his place.
Yeah, I just would have felt too awkward waiting at the house for him. You know,
I don't know, you, his daughter. I thought you would have gone there.
Seb, I've been really caught lately, and since he's been in jail, I mean, at first it was terrible. I'd do anything to get him out and help him. But then I just started hearing things from people, and I realised that that's Jeff, that's his true colours. And I think I was blind.
He lied about a lot of things, you know, when we thought he was looking after Mum and he was going to visit her, but no. And that is just one thing out of so many.
So much has come out through this whole situation, and look, I don't know how he's going to adjust being out of jail. He's lost his credibility. He's got to start again.
He hasn't stepped into the house for 6 months. It's a big deal for him.
Yeah.
And coming out without a welcome committee, I don't know. I'm torn. Should we go? Should we? I don't know.
Look, I just don't think I'm really up for it right now. I'm feeling quite uncertain, particularly because he's no longer part owner of Purple Grove.
What do you mean? You had a proxy. You're going to return it to him?
No.
What do you mean, Deb?
After everything that's happened, I thought long and hard about this, Seb, and I think I've made the right decision for the family, for the business, and for my own sanity.
What did you do?
I sold the shares.
What? To who?
Oh, hi Jeff, how are you going? You're out of jail now. I wanted to be the first one to see you. How are you going?
Well, you haven't come to visit me.
I know, but I mean, I'm with David and what's been going on. I just couldn't get there, I'm sorry.
Well, it hasn't been easy. What's been happening?
Well, what's been happening? Well, it seems like Claire and David, they're just spending a lot of time together, and
What do you mean?
well, I'm really concerned.
No doubt they were trying to take the rest of my shares and conniving against me.
Oh, Purple Grove?
That's right.
You know how David is. You know, I really thought, you know, like he's like a snake. That's, you know, weaves in and out, and no wonder he's been acting so suspicious. Yeah, I'm really concerned. You know, so much for the marriage to him.
I warned you about David, what he's like. A leopard doesn't change his spots. In the 6 months I've been away, locked up, he wasn't going to change. He's just a person interested just in money and what he can get for himself. I warned you about that.
Well, I'm just realising that, but I mean, he's just so great in bed. It just melts my heart.
Look, I don't want to hear about that sort of stuff.
Right. Sorry. So, when did it all start? That's what we need to find out.
Well, thinking about it, many, many years ago when my brother and I started up Purple Grove, we had to work really hard. We needed to wear protective clothing, and we used to wear yellow coats, particularly me. And I used to wear it all the time. And when the kids came along, they were fascinated by it. And so I'd put it on at every available opportunity, you know, just to make them happy. And then suddenly I couldn't do without wearing it. And so I used to wear it all the time, and then I thought, what would it be like to hardly have any clothing on and wearing it? And luckily no one saw me like that, except you know who, you.
Oh, how nice to have you home. Come and sit down.
Nice to be here. Nice to be out. Oh. Nice to see you. I was a bit disappointed you didn't come and visit me more often.
I have a lot of responsibilities, you know, running the companies. I am sorry I didn't come in more often. I sometimes thought it might be upsetting for you to be reminded about what's going on, you know, all through the families and things. 6 months, it flew by with all I had to do.
Well, 6 months for you, but not for me. It was horrible in there. You know, I only had 1 hour of exercise. The rest of the time confined.
I'm sure it was terrible. It was very hard to watch and even harder to go through, absolutely.
But that's why I wanted you to come and visit. I wanted to know how my Purple Grove was progressing.
You mean our Purple Grove? The family's Purple Grove?
Well, it's the same thing. I sacrificed my share to pay back all the monies that we've been fined, as well as funds going back to the humanitarian funds that were owed.
And we bought your shares at fair market price. I paid you what the going rate was. So did David. So there we sit. Were you hoping to regain them?
I expected us to take over from where we were. We're together, and that's what I was expecting.
In the past, you have not hidden things from me, but not disclosed everything. And while you were away, I had time to think. And really, if you want to continue in that vein, a woman needs to be nurtured and wooed, and the relationship needs work. Otherwise, I'm not going to just hand you everything. We were not at that point. We were not at the point of getting married, total commitment. We weren't there yet.
No, but it was part of the plan, and I explained it all to you. What I was concerned about was David's influence on you.
You say it was part of the plan. In your head it was part of the plan. You need to transmit that to me, and you didn't. You keep too much to yourself. You need to show me that you care and that you're prepared to work on this relationship. How do you feel about that?
Well, yes, I guess we can be a bit more open now.
Was Penelope aware of it?
You know, I think she was, or had suspicions of it. And that's probably why she wanted a divorce, just to be honest with you. But, yeah, that's where it all began. Years and years ago, when Jeff and I were building up the property, the Olive Grove.
The first step is we burn it off, okay? And then we just have to just see, you know, your fetish for it and the roots. It must stem from somewhere. You know, it must be more deeper than, you know, what you're saying. Maybe to childhood. I don't know.
Thank you, Nina. I think we're on the right track, and I just want to say I love you.
So do I.
Well, Joe, thanks very much for what you've done so far. At least you've got me out of jail now. I'm out. But after 6 months, it hasn't been easy. It hasn't been easy at all. It's affected me slightly, and now I've got a bigger task ahead. And that task is getting Purple Grove back. It's going to be a battle, but I intend to do it.
Well, I'm sorry that I couldn't make it shorter for you, but it's, you know, it's very hard and all evidence is against you. But I did try my best to get you out, and now you are out. I'm glad that you get out of the jail and be a free man now. Well, regarding to getting back to Purple Grove, do you need me to help you with anything?
Yes, I do. What have you actually done about that? You might be a brilliant lawyer, as your father said, but I want to know what you've done. You haven't done anything. I need to get Purple Grove back, and if that's the case, I don't need you anymore. I'm going to say it's simply useless to me. I have a high standard and I expect some results.
Well, I got you out of jail, so what do you expect me to do? I tried my best, and all the evidence is obviously against you.
Yeah, well, your best isn't good enough, basically. That's what it boils down to. This business with Sonia, is this serious?
Yes, we've been seeing each other for a while now, and I intend to take her to see my dad in Vietnam, introduce her to my dad.
Well, when you go to Vietnam, might be an idea if you stayed there.
Why do you say that to me?
Well, look, Joe, you might have shortened my sentence, but I still had to spend 6 months in jail. 6 months. I've been accosted, I've been threatened, and the food was shit. And I'm not used to that. I've got a high standard. You have no idea what I had to do to survive. Well, for me, the fact you're going to Vietnam, this is it. Bon voyage.
Look, it's a complicated road, life is, I think. But when I came back to Australia and I found out that I wasn't Deb's father, I went round the twist again. And I just had an identity crisis, and somehow the yellow coat helped me deal with it. I don't know, but it just made me more secure, I think. And when I found out that I wasn't Deb's father and that Jeff was, how do you think that made me feel? So that's the issue I've got to address.
Well, Vera burnt the yellow raincoat, but you still had another one.
That's what I'm trying to tell you, that it's in my brain. I just had to have a yellow raincoat. I just couldn't do without it. You see. I think we just have the goal in mind. I get cured of this with your help, and knowing that we love each other dearly, that'll make it work.
Yes, I think so.
Yeah.
Okay, Claire, I'll get the timber, don't worry.
Dad, I need to talk to you about Claire and David. They're conspiring, and I think they've aligned together. And I'm no longer your proxy. You need to be aware. I don't know what they may be planning.
Yes, I suspected something like this. Well, I just have to come up with something, that's for sure. Have to come up with something. It'll be right, don't worry. Well, I lost a lot of money, you know that. I've got to try and balance out now where we stand. I'll come up with something. It'll be okay. How's Sean going? It was nice to see him the other day.
Yeah, no, he's good. We're doing really well, so yeah, very happy.
And what about children? You're planning?
I don't think that's on the cards after the 2 miscarriages. The doctor said I've got no chance of carrying a baby to term, and I just don't want to go through any more heartbreak.
Yeah, how was the boat?
Oh, good. Yeah, it was good. Good.
Yeah.
Lovely, beautiful day out there. The boat was great.
Yeah.
Hey, Dave, I just want to talk to you about a couple of things.
Yeah.
Just a bit concerned lately that, well, I just want to say I want you to look after my mum.
Yeah, I
You know,
always
I
do.
love my mum, and now she's back in my life. I want to protect her, but I've been hearing some stories lately about some yellow raincoat.
So she told you about that, did she?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, look, in the past I've had some issues with a fetish over a yellow raincoat, but Nina is helping me through that, and we're making really steady progress, and I love her dearly for the time and the effort she's put in for
Well, I
that.
hope so, because Deb told me a few things that happened a long time ago, and we sort of hoped that will do in the past, but my mum come to me the other day saying that you're in a yellow raincoat. So I just want to say to you, mate, I love my wife, my mum. Anything that you do to hurt her, I don't know what I'm going to do, but no, I'm going to in fact put you in the ground or something. All right,
Okay.
so you look after her, you hurt one hair in her head, you're dead. And another thing, David, I've got some footage you might be interested in of you in a bar in Germany and your brother-in-law Alex. You know what I'm talking about. So if you don't behave, everyone's going to see that footage. Do I make myself clear?
Very.